Welcome back everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about my brand new presets for Adobe's Lightroom. I've been giving my images a film emulation look for the past 3 years to set them apart from the competition and also give sort of an artisan elevated look to my images. There are a lot of pictures out there that people see every day that are taken with phones, they're taken with very common cameras and that sort of thing, and there is no better way to elevate your images and make them look, well, expensive than to give them that classic film look that we all love. And that's why I came out with these presets for Lightroom. Included in my color film emulation preset pack are 13 different presets. 12 of them will give you that great classic look of film, and one of them, called John's Baseline, will just help you get really good, pleasing color that will work for any sort of shoot when you don't want that sort of stylized approach. My black and white film emulation pack comes with 9 different presets that will give you a wide range of tones, from sort of a classic black and white to a very high contrast image. That way, whether or not you've shot the images in very contrasty light or more flat light, you'll be able to pick a look and feel that will work for you. If you're interested in picking up the presets, just go to johngress.com/presets, and for a limited time only, they'll be available for 33% off. All right, let me demonstrate for you now how to use the presets, but first we've got to install them. So go ahead and go into Lightroom, go into the Develop module, just press D, and over there on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the presets. Hit that plus icon, then come down to Import Presets, then you'll navigate to wherever you downloaded the preset files, and you can even click on the zip file and hit Enter, and all of the presets will automatically load into Lightroom for you. All right, so I'm going to back out here to the contact sheet. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on this image here, which you might recognize from the cover of the box. And you'll see that it looks very dull and drab. And that's because it doesn't have a preset applied to it. But if you go ahead and look over here at all the presets we have to choose from here over on the left, you can see the black and white ones. And now you can see the color ones. So my presets are labeled F and K. I think you might be able to figure out what kind of film that stands for. So the F presets are going to elevate those greens a little bit. They're going to add some contrast. And the K presets are going to give us that sort of golden skin look. And the K1 through 4 are going to give us a little bit of teal in the shadows, but not a lot. And it's going to give us that really nice, warm, pleasing skin tone. And overall, these presets are going to elevate the contrast and elevate the clarity in the images and sort of knock off that digital feeling, if you will. So just sort of navigating here through F1, F2, F3, F4, 5, 6, and K1. We're getting a little warmer. I actually use K3 for the box cover, but I'll go ahead and show you what K4, 5, and 6 look like. And then we'll go back to K3. You'll see right here underneath the navigator that we're using preset JGK3, and there is the amount slider. So you can decide if you want to make the look more intense or less intense, and you can fine tune it to be exactly what you're looking for your particular image. All right, let me navigate down here to a different image. You'll see this photo of Pierre. I'm just going to pull it up here. For the purpose of this demo here today, I'm just going to crop it up to be 3/4 length. That's the way that you see it on the demo page. That way we can just see Pierre nice and big on our screen. You'll see that it looks very dull and drab and lifeless. So let's go ahead and look at the color presets now. We're going to go through the F presets. So there's JGF1, there's JGF2, that feels better to me. There's F3, and so on and so forth. Okay, great. I think that right now, to me, I'm stuck between F2 and F3, but let's go ahead and look at F2. I think that one will work just fine. Again, all of these presets are made so that you can use the amount slider right here under the navigator and decide exactly where you want it. So maybe you want it to be less intense and give you not a whole lot. Maybe you want it to be more intense and give you a much better look. I think that looks pretty good. I could fine tune it with all of the settings here on the right. I think I'll just pull down these highlights just a little bit because this wool over here is losing a little bit of detail, but I think that looks a lot better. All right, let me go ahead and pull up a before and after here so you can see what it looked like before I applied the preset and after. And as you can see here, there is a big difference between the image before I applied the preset and then after I applied it and fine-tuned it just a little bit. And that's the great thing about these presets. You'll take your images a long way quite quickly just by pressing a button. That's what I love about them. Let's go ahead and look at some black and white presets, or let's look at some images with the black and white presets so you can get a feel of what those presets are like as well. All right, I'm going to pull up this picture of Paolo here. It actually looks a little dark to me, so I'm just going to boost my exposure here about half a stop. Then I'm going to cycle through the black and white presets. Let's look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I actually think that 2 look the best out of all of those, so I think I'm going to go with that one. You can see we've got some retouching here to do, but I think this image will retouch nicely and look great as a final photo. Let's look at one more picture. I'm going to pull up this headshot here of Christian, and then I'm going to pull up my presets again, and I'm going to go through them one at a time again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I actually think 9 looks the best to me. Now you can do one thing here, and that is that you can go into the black and white channel mixer and just know that skin tones are normally orange, so that's probably the slider that's going to move. But if you grab this little thingamabob right here, I forgot what that's called, but just go ahead and click on the skin tone and you can pull it up and you'll see the orange slider start to move, and you can make a decision as to where you want the skin tone to live. And I think that looks really good right about there, and I think that one's going to look just about right. All right, I'm going to show you one more image, and that's going to be with John's baseline applied. Remember, that comes in the color film emulation pack, but it's designed to give you a non-stylized look that's going to be very nice and pleasing. So I'm going to click on this photo of Thomas here, and we'll bring it up, and you'll see that he doesn't look very healthy. It looks a little gray. If you come over here to the presets and come down to John's baseline, you'll see right away that it has a huge impact on the photo, and you can see in the before and after how much better he looks with the preset applied than without. Before we wrap up today, I just want to talk about the requirements that you'll need to meet when using these presets. The color film emulation presets are built upon the Adobe Camera Matching Standard profile, whereas the black and white ones are built on the Adobe monochrome profile. If you don't have those available for your particular camera, then these presets are probably not going to be great. I have tested the color ones on Sony, Nikon, and Canon cameras, and all of the ones I tested worked out fine. For Fuji cameras, the color ones didn't work, but the black and white ones did. And if you have a Fuji camera, you probably don't need film emulation presets because you have so many great profiles to choose from. Let me talk about profiles in general for just a second. When you record an image with your camera in RAW, it records a very raw signal that looks very flat and very dull. In order to have your image show up in any program, you have to apply a profile. Now, you probably didn't even know that you were doing that, but in the background, Adobe applies their Adobe Color profile by default to all of their images. I have built these presets on Adobe's Camera Matching Standard color profile, which I think gives a much more pleasing look. But in order to use the color film emulation presets, you've got to make sure that your camera is currently supported by Adobe and has the camera matching standard profile. So let me show you how to do that. So you want to go into the Develop module, and you'll see right here at the very top, right under the word Basic, you'll see the word Treatment Color in black and white, and then on the next row, you'll see the word Profile, and next to it, it says Adobe Color. That's where they're applying that Adobe Color profile. If you've ever shot JPEGs and RAW and thought that your photos looked great on the back of the camera, or the JPEGs looked fine, but then when you got the RAW into Adobe's program and you were like, what the hell is this? Why does this look so bad? It's probably because they're applying that Adobe Color profile to your camera. So if you're shooting, for instance, a Canon camera like I do, and you're using the picture style standard, the best way to get that Canon color look is to go into the profiles here. So again, right under Basic, you'll see the word black and white. Then you'll see these 4 square windows. If you click on those, that brings up all of the profiles. And if you scroll down past Adobe, you'll see camera matching, and then you'll see the one standard. So that's going to give you that standard color profile that you're getting in your camera, but in your RAW images. Sometimes when a new camera comes out, Adobe does not have the camera matching standard profile right away. So if you have a brand new camera, you might want to check and make sure that it's in there. I use these presets with the R5, a Z6, I believe a A7R4, I'm not sure, but just make sure that that's already in your profile if you want to use it. If you're buying the black and white presets, don't worry, because they're based on the Adobe Color, the Adobe monochrome profile, and they pretty much have that for every camera, at least all the ones that I tested, except for a camera from phase 1. So just be aware of that. But for the most part, these presets are going to work fine for you. And if you buy them and you run into a problem and you show me that the profile is not there for your camera, I'll send you a refund. Don't worry about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoy using these presets. I think it's going to be a great way for you to elevate your look and get that more expensive analog look that you've been going for. I've enjoyed using film emulation looks for the past 3 years, and I think it looks absolutely great. If you have any questions or comments, just leave those below. And as always, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.